Street photography can be quite the adventure. Imagine trying to capture pictures of people you have never met before. They are all busy doing their own thing, zooming around and maybe even wondering why you are pointing a camera at them. But let me tell you, when you snap that perfect shot, it's like winning a lottery. You are freezing a tiny piece of time in a super interesting and eye-catching way. Now, not everyone's cut out for street photography, but once it grabs you, there's no turning back. And when that happens, you will want to get better and better at it. You will want to increase the number of good shots and keepers you will be proud to publish. So here's the scoop. There are just 3 skills you need to sharpen to get better in street photography. They are pretty straightforward, even though they are not all that simple. And guess what? Only one of them has anything to do with your camera gear. No, you don't need to splurge on a fancy camera. When you are out there in the hustle and bustle of your city, the gear doesn't matter that much. Just look at those photo legends from back in the day. They created stunning work with much older tech than what we have now in the last decade. Better lenses, not a must either. In street photography, things like how sharp your pictures are or how fancy the background looks are less important than nailing the composition and catching the perfect moment. You don't need to be in some exotic far-off place either. Life unfolds everywhere, and wherever there are people, there are stories worth snapping. And here's a secret, you don't even need to find a unique looking subjects. Trust me, everyone's interesting when you pay attention to them. So here's the first skill you really need. Stick with a camera you are comfortable using and pop on a single fixed focal length lens. Leave everything else at home and don't switch things for a whole year. You've got to learn to operate that camera like it's an extension of yourself. The view from that lens should be etched into your brain so you can focus on the important stuff like spotting great scenes and setting up nice shots. You can pick any focal length you prefer, but if you are new to street photography, I would recommend starting with a 50mm lens. It lets you keep a bit of distance from your subject and eventually helps you master the third and most important skill. But before I spill the beans on that, let's chat about the skill number 2, location. Some folks always want to explore new places for their photo adventures, thinking it will lead to better pictures. Surprise, surprise, it's usually the opposite. New spots bring new challenges. You will not know how the light works there, whether your lens is too long or wide, or if you will even spot something interesting while you are busy figuring out a good shot. So here's the twist. Go back to the same place again and again. Get to know it like the back of your hand. Stroll those streets. See how they change at different times of the day, week, month and a year. Heck, if you enjoyed, try some nighttime shooting, like for example Joe's Jack. You never know, the locals might start recognizing you and help you out. People are usually friendly and supportive when they see you are passionate and genuine about your craft. And now the grand finale, skill number 3, courage. Smile and approach folks for their photos. Hang out with groups of cheerful people like bachelors or anyone having a good time. Snap away, and if someone asks what you are up to, just smile and explain. Show them the cool shots you just took and have your Instagram ready to show off your portfolio. Share your Instagram QR code. You never know who might want to follow your awesome work. And if you can muster up the bravery, walk up to a stranger and ask to take their portrait. Be open about your photography adventures, don't steal photos, and if someone asks you to delete their picture, don't hesitate, do it right there in front of them. No need for sneaky business. Everyone who's tried street photography has been in those tight spots. Just remember what you are doing and why, and don't be embarrassed. Plus, it's always good to know how to peacefully resolve a little disagreement. Keep at it even if you come home with no keepers and a bit of a bruised ego. Street photography can be tough and I often wonder why I do it myself, but you know what? It's through those tough times that we find our comfort zone, and it's through practice that we get better. And here's the kicker, when we are honest about why we take photos and what we are doing, we have better experiences, cooler interactions with strangers, and our work gets even better. So if you are unsure about what gear to use for street photography, check out these 2 videos where I compare some of the best street photography cameras from recent years, along with 2 lenses in the most popular focal length. But remember, it's all about getting out there, having fun and capturing life's magic moments.